Here's the workflow that I use to align all of my AI tools with my product vision. For example, I've created this landing page without re-explaining the whole product to Claude. How does this work? The problem is zero momentum. You have these amazing tools like Perplexity, Antigravity, Google AI, and usually you also have like external sources like Pinterest inspiration, or a cool landing pages that you bookmarked, or cool products that you're drawing inspiration from. And all of that stuff is scattered across different AI tools, different chats, different tabs, different platforms, different bookmark folders. It's everywhere. So the ideal would be to use Perplexity because they're good with research, but then that stuff stays in Perplexity. You could do brainstorming in Claude Web or Claude Desktop because it just works quite well, but whatever you start there stays basically in those chats locked away. If you open Cursor, you start from zero. You need to explain everything or you need to copy paste. So the usual solution is to just not use all of these amazing tools and just go straight to Cursor or to Claude Code and design and research the whole thing there, which might not be the best approach to go. So every tool starts from zero, and it's hard to put all of the knowledge from you, from your research, and from other tools into one space where all of the tools would benefit from and all of the tools could maintain the knowledge. And this is where this workflow becomes so important. You have everything in one workspace, and in this case, it's a visual workspace, it's a whiteboard, and you can put all of your research there. I mean, the idea is not new. You know Notion, you know Obsidian, and these are all tools to have like nodes organized in structures and folders that are somewhat accessible to AI tools, and to build a knowledge base in these platforms that you can invest into. So every time you have a new insight, every time you do a new research with Perplexity, or you have a new market insight, or you do a new test and you have new ideas or a new understanding of your target customer, you are investing into that knowledge base and increasing its value and its effectiveness. And eventually you end up with a very big collection of knowledge that can be used to guide all of these tools that you're using. But the difference between a node organization app and a whiteboard app with a proper search access is that you can simply cluster, like you can put stuff on the whiteboard as you would do it as a reasonable human being. So if I show you this mood board here, you can see I start out with like a big research and I just drop everything, and I try to pull the stuff together that I like. For example, the visual mood boards are a good example for this, where I can basically just put a label here and the relevant references. And this is, for me as a human, is like 100 times easier to see than a folder structure. And the same thing works also with notes, of course. So I can put like ICP research, user goals, ambition, landing page headlines, product strategy briefings, everything here in different clusters. For me as a human, it's natural to just place related information there while I'm working on that. And then later having a good search access, this is the second point, having good search integration for your tools means that your tools see the same hierarchy as you. And on top of that, they also understand the semantic meaning. So if there is an image here, a bookmark over there, and down here there is a note expressing related ideas, they can pick that up. Or if you want to focus on mood boards or clusters, you can pick up the 2D structure here and see what is like placed close together in order to work more properly on the tasks that you have. So by integrating the specific whiteboard with an MPC connection into all of the coding tools or research tools that I'm using, all of the tools can maintain that knowledge and write to that knowledge and enrich it. And they can also draw from that knowledge to be more precise, to be more guided. For example, I can start out here in Perplexity and say, hey, do a web-grounded research on the before-after bridge framework, and give me references and examples here. So Perplexity is amazing in doing that. And I can basically go ahead and, through the integration, save all of these insights to the whiteboard. So if I jump back to the whiteboard, me as a human, I can just add more notes or visual references to whatever we're researching. And I could have here the iteration from the first landing page draft. I could have here my user goals and ambitions to outline the ideal customer profile that I'm targeting. And I could have additional notes outlining my taste or my recommendations for the landing page. And I can pick all of that up in my Claude session to say, hey, just pull the current research on our next landing page iteration, and let's pick up from here. So Claude already fetches all of the relevant context it needs for the current session. And then we can brainstorm here. I figured out that this tool works quite well to be more strategic and to say like, okay, let's work through the exact structure that we want to put together. Let's work through the headlines, the paragraphs that we're going to use. And this is actually the stuff that's ended up in the real landing page here, and also the visual design and the overall structure, the storytelling, the visuals and stuff like that. So I've outlined this whole thing in this Claude chat, which was quite lengthy, but this whole long chat can get lost. I don't need to go back to this in the future, because in the end, I just say, hey, for the insights that we had in this discussion, save that stuff to our whiteboard. And it does so and puts it here It called it landing page version 2, the revisited structure and stuff. Okay. So this is the whole breakdown of this super long, hour-long conversation I had with Claude is here in one note. So I jump over to Antigravity and I say, hey, we've been doing the research on the batch brew whiteboard. Just pull the current state of version 2 landing page and start designing this. And it can pull the original copy and the structure that I've put together along with the visual outline and the mood board. It gets the color scheme, it gets the look and feel, the fonts that I wanted to use, all of that context already planned and prepared in the whiteboard. And it gets all of this and it builds the first draft of the landing page, which is pretty much on point. And it doesn't end here. If you want to try this for yourself, I published a polished version of this whiteboard and you can find a link to that in the description. You simply go there. There will be like a green button on the bottom that says duplicate this. So this is how you basically duplicate the whole space into your own workspace so you can make edits. And you can simply click on this connect button here. And here you have the copy paste commands basically for your favorite tools. So if I want to do this in Antigravity, I just click on copy command here. I go over into the terminal and I paste this here into the terminal. It's gonna ask me to create a new API key. You can simply do that by command clicking here on this link. It's going to lead you to this page where you can create a new integration with this API key that it just generates. It will take 1 or 2 seconds here. I just skipped the video. And you copy this, you paste it here, Command V, and you're good to go. So if you really want to stress test this whole thing, you can just go here after connecting your tool and say, hey, please redesign our landing page according to what we're doing in the batch brew whiteboard for the Renaissance style landing page. And if you're going to send that, it's going to figure out that this is the latest landing page brief and it's going to restructure your landing page, but it's not going to create all of the visuals that you see here. This were multiple steps that linked back to my whiteboard where I've been using image generation basically and video generation tools to put all the things together and then iterating on the results. So it's not going to replace your whole workflow. And the whole point of this tool is to glue together all of your knowledge from all of your tools and help you to focus on the things that really matter. So for example, all of these micro interactions that I added here, there's like butterflies flying in from the right if they're not taking a break right now, which happens after some time. So you see on the right side, these micro effects coming in, the background parallax, and then this great animation and stuff. So I was able to focus all of my time on this interaction stuff and on the design because all of the other stuff I already figured out and I already basically created the outline and the product brief for that. All right, the link is in the description. Let me know what you think about all of this and I'll see you in this batch brew space.